My grandma is a seamstress by trade, so
Oh, no.
yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, did you not?
No!
Yes, she is. I know with myself if I'm wearing something, if I feel good, I'm gonna rock that. Like I'm
Yes.
gonna walk with confidence, I'm gonna feel amazing in it.
As we always say to the brides, trust how you feel
Yeah.
inside, because that's really where the answer lies. Welcome to the Bluebell Bridecast. I'm Julie, and today we're discussing bridal gowns. Choosing your bridal gown and what to wear. I mean, you've been thinking about your bridal gown all your life, right? For some people, the answer is yes, and for some people, it's no. And in today's episode, we're chatting with Shenali, our salon manager, who knows a lot about wedding gowns and her gown choice. I hope that you enjoy this episode. All right, so wedding venue is set.
Yes.
Now it's onto the gown.
I know.
And this is
I'm excited.
this is the
fun
part.
Yeah.
This is the part we all love so much. Tell me about how many outfits you're going to wear, because you've got the Sri Lankan heritage.
Yes.
You've got more than one gown you'll be wearing.
Yeah. My ideal is that we have a traditional outfit called the sari that we wear in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So I was thinking for the ceremony to wear that because that would sort of be the formality part of it, and then I'll get changed into the dress for the reception and my photos, I thought, because that would be what I would have, you know, for the lifetime. So I'll change into that for the photos, and because our party is going to go on till late, Sri Lanka doesn't have a cut-off time.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to go to like 3-4 in the morning if I can.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to change into something a little bit more fun for after party, but for now I've just got the two, the sari and then my dress.
Lovely. Now with the sari, because Andy's wearing the kilt,
Yeah.
how are you going to coordinate the kilt colour to the sari colour? Because I'd imagine that, I mean, wool versus silk, they're very different fabrics.
Very different. Lucky enough though, it'll still be white. So
Okay.
the sari will still be white or creamy with whatever the type of beading work that needs to be done. So it doesn't necessarily have to be too much of a colour to clash with.
Okay.
So
yeah, isn't it funny? I thought that automatically I think of a sari, I think of bright colours.
Yeah, and usually that's the case. So
Yeah.
if you can't, like all the guests would have all the bright colours. But as a wedding, the only two colours that we normally have would be is the white or like red. But red isn't for the ceremony. It's usually for when you like leave afterwards.
Okay, so
So
that's like you're going away.
yeah, going
outfit.
away. Yeah, like a little going away honeymoon outfit.
And what's the history with the sari in your family? Because every family is unique.
Yeah.
I know you were talking the other day about your grandma.
Yes.
And how she's going to be involved in the
Yeah.
sari making or fabric selection process.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my grandma is a seamstress by trade. So
Oh, no.
yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, do you not?
No!
Yes, she is.
Oh my
So she
gosh.
does. So that's how I kind of got into like fashion and everything as well. So she does that as a trade in Sri Lanka. So she makes, so a very popular thing in Sri Lanka is the sari. So she makes lots of the jackets and all of the, you know, underskirts. And sometimes with the sari, you either just get like this big lot of fabric and you can either just use that, or you can work the fabric. So she's also done like hand beading and all of that kind of stuff. So that's how it all, like, so she does it as a living. Now she's obviously a little bit older, so she's very much lighter on her workload. But I want her to make my sari for me, just as something special. She did it for my cousin, she's done it for the family, so it's sort of a nice tradition that she'd be a part of making that for me.
That's beautiful. Now, what would you have in your hair at that time? Sorry, I'm ignorant, I don't know. But do you have, with the sari, do you have a headdress that you wear at the same time?
No, so it's not very, Sri Lanka's probably a little bit more muted down in terms of it not being as elaborate. You'd still wear a veil, like we don't have any like head jewelry or anything like that, unless you wanted to wear it.
Yes.
But I would just still have the veil. And then the sari can be usually the beaded. It can be as beaded or as light as you want.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
How I go.
That's something that really I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, okay. Because I just thought it'd be special because Andy's wearing his, you know, traditional outfit. So for me to have a part of it to wear, but I can't dance in it. So that's why I'm going to change.
Yeah, so that's why we're going to book a day here.
Yes,
and you're going to bring in a couple of people. Now, you've asked for 2 separate days to try on dresses, and that's interesting because it does tie in, not always, but oftentimes with our brides, they'll come in, they'll try their gown, they'll fall in love with it, and they'll either go and have lunch and come back a bit later in the day, or come back the next day. You're wanting to have 2 separate sessions.
Yes.
Why is that?
I think, like, for me, it depends. 2 reasons. I do have quite a big family and guests and everything. So I think for me, the first session is sort of something where I would come with just my mum, my brother, just a really, really close family, for me to kind of have that first take. Because even though I do this and I see wedding dresses all the time, I've never actually pictured it on myself. You know, so I've always thought of it for my brides, and I always think about it on them. So I think it was almost having that day to just kind of take it all in and take that moment to go, okay, I'm in a dress, which do I feel within myself that I love? And then the second day I'd bring the girls and everybody to sort of see the favourite one.
Okay, the two part thing.
Yes.
Knowing that you've got your venue, and we always say to our brides, have your venue booked, because it helps 100%. So
100%.
Okay, fantastic.
Guaranteed that it makes a difference to know or picture what you could wear by having the venue.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a closed door session with you and your family. Knowing that you've got your venue booked, and knowing that it's light and it's beachy, and you've mentioned that you love comfort, which is of course really important. You know our gowns so well. You know our gowns more than anybody else in the salon. As our salon manager who spends your working life out here, as you say, exploring the dresses with the brides. Has anything come into your mind in terms of silhouette or fabric that you'd like to explore for yourself?
I do. I always did picture something a little bit more A-line. I'm someone that I get a bit bloated once I have a couple of drinks or food, so I just want comfort. So I thought something a bit more A-line. I've got a bit more ease of movement. I did quite like the Alex Perry's. I feel like they, in terms of fabric-wise, is light. So it's not overly heavy. It's not weighted. It's something simple, but I'm also not opposed to something with a little bit of texture. But again, it's the weight for me that I would go for. So it doesn't necessarily have to be flowy, but a lot of the dresses that we have, depending on the particular designers, you can feel the weight of the fabric of them. So I'd be more conscious of that. Whilst I might love the look of it, I know that it's got a little bit more weight.
And you're going to take that in.
I would take that into consideration. But I also do love the idea of the texture purely for travel purposes. Because then I don't have to worry about it creasing or anything like that. I know that I can just wrap it up in my suitcase, off I go, and then out, and then it doesn't need too much of a steam. So just look, as a side question, have you spoken to your planner about the concept of having a steamer on hand? Not yet.
Okay.
But it will be something I would definitely discuss with both the planner but also the venue. So I would definitely be speaking to them and say, have you got a venue, have you got a steamer on site? Because if not, I will be bringing a steamer. So we've got family that you can just go and purchase a steamer in Sri Lanka.
Well, I think so. And it's funny, we say that so many of our brides who are travelling, whether it's here or 2 hours in an hour into the Yarra Valley, it's like, have you got a steamer? And most of them have said yes. So we've got to start asking them,
do they have the steamer?
Where did you get it? How did you choose it? So that if you need it as a backup, you've got it packed away.
And that's the hard thing. Sometimes if I was here, our brides are amazing. They've got all the tips. They've already done it. They've got all the trades. So if I was getting married here, I reckon I'd be able to plan a wedding like that with all of the brides that we see, and everyone sharing all of their amazing tips. So I have to see what it's like in Sri Lanka.
Have you shared any tips with any of the brides that you've been working with over the last couple of months?
Oh, I feel like maybe subconsciously. I don't know if I generally sort of come out there, and I think we kind of have a great vibe and get a great report. So I think when we just chat, it sort of naturally comes about of what I think, and they've been amazing. I know I've had some girls that have shared with me their spreadsheet, you know, the concept of spreadsheet and make sure everything's on top. I thought that was amazing, because that definitely has been helpful. I've got my wedding spreadsheet up as well. So they've been really good to share some amazing.
So you're collaborating further, and just having this experience now, because I wore a wedding gown 100 years ago, but just to have the experience now, it really helps you go on that journey, not just for yourself, but also with your brides as well.
Well, I've been waiting. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm waiting to start on my journey, because I'm excited to see some of the new stuff, and the Flore ones just look look so amazing. I think they'll be the vibe that I like as well. I think you're getting a lot of that dropped waist. I'm shorter, so
Yes.
I feel like in the right proportion to get the shape for me to feel like I'm nice and tall. And they look light, they feel light, and I think that's going to be important. I have my eye on their rose bodice, I think.
Yeah, oh, I know.
So I feel like being that top and skirt, I could, I could sway to not maybe going something full, but a little bit fitted, but I can change the skirt, but keep the bodice.
Yes.
So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think that they're, and we've had so many brides ask.
Yes, we have.
I think that they're going to be just exquisite options for you.
I think so.
To try on. But I think when I look at them and we know the gowns that we're getting in, they are a fuller skirt, but like the Alex Perry, it's light.
The
it's a really sort of flowy, light feeling.
And I think I know for myself, and I know we can do that here in the alterations, because this isn't the dress that I'll be walking down the aisle in.
Yeah.
I still want a little bit of a train for the photos, but I don't want it to be super huge. So I think when I wear it, if I find that it is that little bit too long for me, I know I can just shorten it a little bit, and it makes such a difference. I feel like with the weight of the fabrics.
Because its purpose isn't walking down the aisle. Because a sari by nature is going to be slim fitting.
Straight, exactly.
Yeah, so to have the contrast of that flowing skirt.
Exactly. Just so I get to have both looks, if I'm already doing a
that's the dream, isn't it?
Love that,
yeah, you're not having to look at one.
Yeah.
And then, so this is the dress that we're going to be finding for you here, which we're very excited about. So first time you come in, you bring your family.
Yep.
When you do, and we know because we've seen so many brides, we will and so want our family and our friends to love our gowns as much as we do.
Yeah.
Has your mum shared any advice on what she'd like you to wear?
You know what, my mum's quite good. She's very good in knowing, it's if I'm happy with it, that's the main thing. But she's very much more, we're funny, we're different.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit more muted, a bit more simpler, less, but she would love add a little bit of sparkle here.
Oh, bless her.
So if she comes and I put something on, she might go, oh, do you want to add a little bit of beading there, or do you want to do, a nice little headband of some sort? And I just have to go, okay, just a little bit less.
Would you sort of meet her halfway?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's important for me. I think if again, as I said, I'm really lucky that I don't think my family would go, unless it was horrific, they wouldn't be like, oh my God, no, take the dress off. But they're very much like, I think I would want them to love it as well. Because I think I can sense that if they go, oh, I prefer the other, I do a compromise. Still get what I want.
Yeah.
But
that's so important because we see that every single day.
Absolutely.
And whether that's our brides that have got parents or family that are interstate or overseas, the approval and the love of their gown by their mum, their friends or what have you, it's so high on the priority list. But as you say, knowing that you're not compromising all of your taste just to simply please somebody else. It's got to make you feel amazing.
Absolutely.
Too.
So I would say it's finding that nice balance, and I think it's something that I'm going to take with me with my shopping journey. But it's what I always say to the brides. I mean, you bring your people for a reason, right?
That's
they're the people that you bring in for your appointments are the people that you value what they say. So I know you want them to love it. So you want to find that right balance of finding something that you feel absolutely amazing in, and you're like, yes, this is me.
Yes.
But also one that they would also be happy with.
Yeah.
So it's trying to find that right balance.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're so gregarious, and you're having 7 bridesmaids.
Yes, I am. 7.
I'm sure you don't want 8.
But I had to cut that.
Did you really?
I had to cut the list, yes. It could have gotten more.
Oh, wow. No, but would you want all of your bridesmaids or your attendants, because I know you've got a mix with your brother and one of your best friends, and so a boy-girl mix.
Yes.
Would you want them all to participate in that selection, or would it just be a couple that you feel would
I'd go with
you'd benefit, they'd benefit?
Yeah. I'd go with the couple. I mean, also, even though I've got the 7, yes, I've got 2 guys and 5 girls.
Yeah.
But 2 of them aren't in Melbourne.
Okay.
So I won't need to worry about that. And obviously the guys, only my brother, he's definitely coming. He's very excited for it.
Oh, cool.
But I think it would just be 1 or 2 of the bridesmaids, and I'll just show the rest of them on the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. So I think it would be just keeping it tight because again, 7, it's amazing. I want to share it with all of them, but also I know that I don't want to be overwhelmed with too many thoughts and ideas.
And that was my thought when you say 7.
Yeah.
Because we always, in truth, we've got a smallish sort of space here and we always say bring fewer guests.
Yes.
So that if you do need to come back, you bring another
Yes, that's why I thought I'd do them in the 2. So, so my first would be my mum, my brother, my dad, and my sister-in-law. So it's literally like the family, and that's they're part of the bridal party too. Yeah. And then doing the second day with the girls.
Yeah, with the girls.
I don't think my other guy friend would want to come and see it, so he can be surprised on the day, so that's fine.
Yeah, no.
Unless he does, and then I'll bring him along. But sort of doing that, because I think it'll also be 2 very different vibes. With the girls, it'll be celebratory. I want to show them like this is what the dress is, or this is my favourite, and they can still be a part of it.
Yeah.
But I want to have that moment with just my mum and my
okay,
brother.
so you choose a gown with your mum.
Yes.
And your dad and your brother and your sister-in-law.
Yes.
And then you bring your bridesmaids in.
Yes.
And you put it on.
Yes.
And their faces drop to the floor. And you're like, oh my God, this was my dress. I love it.
Oh, like if they hated it.
And if they go, oh no, I don't like it.
Oh my gosh, okay, well. I'd just be like, seriously, why? What do you mean?
What do you mean? I look
amazing? No.
Yeah, because we've had that where we've had a bride that's loved a gown, and when she's come back and she's brought other guests, they haven't loved it as much as she has, or they've flat out disliked it.
Which they've just gone, no, I don't
we've
like
seen
it.
it all.
Yeah.
But how would you? And that everybody manages it in a way that's appropriate for them.
Yeah.
But knowing that you've seen that, it's a bit of a curveball for you.
It is a curveball question. But I think
we'll see if it happens.
I know, but I feel like the people or my bridal party and the girls that I have, I'm so close with that I feel like we can just be open.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I would, if they sort of say, oh no, I don't like it, I'd probably just be like, why? What is it about it? Do you not like? And just get a bit of their feedback, maybe show them some other options. Because sometimes it might be if they're only seeing that, they have maybe a first reaction, but maybe if they compare it with something else, they might go, oh, actually no.
I see what you mean.
I see what you mean. That looks better. Or I think if I even just shared it, then be like, oh, what do you mean? I love it. Like, what is it about it? If it's a personal taste thing, then I can respect it and go, amazing, okay, great, I respect that. But I don't know, hypothetically, if I end up with a lace dress, and if one of my girls don't like lace, I'd be like, it's fine. But does this suit me? Does my silhouette look good? Like, do I, not really finessing what their personal preference is, because we obviously would have different tastes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hope that they would just see that I love it and just go, okay, even though I might not like it, if you feel amazing in it, that's all that matters. And as long as they stay positive, I think I don't need them to love it, but like it.
Yeah.
Or if I look good.
Yeah, because on the day, we know when it gets to the day, and all of the multitudes of dresses that didn't make the cut, and you're getting married, you're beaming because you're in love, everybody's in a celebratory mood, and there's music and there's champagne, and on that day when they see you in your chosen gown, and I think this is true for every single bride.
Absolutely.
Everybody always talks about how amazing the bride looks, because aside from anything, you're so happy. It's one of the happiest moments of your life.
Absolutely.
So you're radiating all of this love, and you've got this incredible dress on that fits you perfectly.
Yeah, and it does make such a difference. But I always say, and I think that's where it's hard, because it's so nice to get everyone's feedback, and you do, as I said, you want to find that compromise between the two. But it's also very important that you feel amazing in it, because you would instantly, like I know with myself, if I'm wearing something, if I feel good, I'm going to rock that. Like I'm going to walk with confidence. I'm going to feel amazing in it. So I think that will exude.
Yes.
So I don't think I would get a dress if everybody else loved it but I hated it. I couldn't do it, because I know that I just know I wouldn't be walking with confidence with the dress.
Yeah.
So I think...
So it starts with self.
It starts with self, and then you can, compromise with the little things that everyone else says. But in the end of the day, you need to wear it with confidence.
Absolutely. Yeah. Has anybody, knowing that you work in bridal, has anybody that's part of your bridal party sent you any photos of wedding dresses saying, hey, Shenali, I think you'd look cool in this?
No one yet. I think I haven't. Once I start the journey, I think they'll start kind of sending things, but because it's been so, I literally only asked everyone like 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. So it's very like...
Still so new.
Still fresh, still new. So I think once I get like the group going and get the chats going, I think they might start
contributing.
Yeah. But so far, none.
No, but make sure you share that journey with us, because that's, I mean, like you say, you've got people that are overseas or interstate, and they're not all here. Yet you want this to be a team journey.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder whether, and I'd be so curious to know. I think my cousin and my brother will probably have more of a input in it.
Yes.
But I think because everyone else knows that I'm in the industry, they probably already think, oh, you already know what dress you're wearing.
Yeah.
So they probably just go.
That's interesting. It's like, no, I'm like everybody else. I have no idea.
I'm like, I haven't. That's what I mean. I wouldn't say like I have the knowledge and I know what I like and what I don't like, but I couldn't tell you if I know which dress I'm going to be picking right now. I would have no idea.
And do you know whether you'd have straps or no straps? No. So
I'd be open.
We're all the same.
All the same. I have an idea that I think I might like strapless, but a wedding dress is a wedding dress and it's very different, right?
Yeah.
So I would want to see how it looks on me, and I think I'll know when I wear it. I think that's the easiest way that I would explain it.
Yeah, well, that's what we tell our brides as well. It's great to think about it.
Yeah.
But the key is how you feel.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling, like you said, if you're rocking it and you're feeling sensational and you have that moment of wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we know some people don't. We know they just look at it and they go, yeah, look, this is great. I'm not a huge shopper.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. Yeah. I love this. Yep, I'll go ahead with it. That's what I want. It's going to work. And then there are those that, cry. There are those that, it's everything in between.
Absolutely.
But it's, as we always say to the brides, trust how you feel inside, because that's really where the answer lies.
I think so. It doesn't matter. I totally agree with you, because I think it doesn't matter if you're crying and having a moment and you're hysterical versus you're being a bit more subdued of like, it ticks all my boxes. I love this. This is my dress.
Yes.
We've had vast emotions, all of that in between that.
Yes.
But regardless, at the core of it, it's still a feeling. Whether you're crying or whether in your mind you're like, it ticks all my boxes.
Yes.
You have that feeling of, okay, I feel good in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it doesn't matter, because I've actually had brides ask me like, oh, am I meant to cry?
Yes.
And I go, no.
I
reckon I've only had like 4 or 5 of my brides my entire 10 years of working here that's cried.
Yeah.
So it
I'm usually the one crying.
Yeah, you're the I will. I used to, and then I've had to like control myself.
Yeah.
So I need to, because otherwise I'll be hysterically crying in front of a bride, and it's embarrassing because it's not about me, it's about you.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Like, you look amazing.
I see the mums, because all of the mums are about my age now.
Okay.
And I see them well up, and then I start to well up.
Yeah.
And then the brides say, well, is it usual that I'm not crying?
Yeah.
And it's
like, no, it's so fine.
There is
a baby.
no right, there's no wrong.
Yeah.
It's how you're feeling. And you're feeling amazing? Yep.
Yeah.
Well, trust that.
Exactly.
Go with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to have an amazing time exploring.
I can't wait.
Not only the permanent collection that we've got here and all of the gowns.
Yeah.
We'll hopefully get a chance to journey with you on that, and up until your wedding day when we actually see which one you've chosen.
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah.
No,
that's great. Well, just let us know when you're ready and we can book that in and get started.
Yay.
Thank you for tuning into our bridal podcast today. We hope that you enjoyed Shenali and my conversation around choosing a bridal gown. Of course, we can't share the gown she'll be wearing until her wedding day, but we hope there were some great tips for you in this podcast. When we come back to you next time, we're going to be talking about additional tips on choosing the gown, what to expect, how should you feel. And of course, if you're a bride and you'd like to share your journey with us, we'd love to hear from you. So until next time, if you did enjoy today's podcast, please do click the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.